Hello everyone, this is Alicia and I am doing my video and this is on module 2, chapters 3 and 4, and it's in reference to topic 1, and it is about Hildegard Paplau, and she was a nursing theorist who pretty much changed the way that we think as far as our roles with our patients. We already know that a lot of times we're like med aides, we're housekeeping, we're CNAs, we're business office managers, we're human resources. We take on so many roles. But as far as the roles that we have directly with our patients, she named 7 of these, okay? And it was a concept that she developed to show our therapeutic nursing relationship as far as our nursing and patient relationships. And the first role that she says was the stranger role, and it's the way we pretty much present ourselves as far as our patients when we first meet them. It's kind of like, when you have your first impression, it's very important. And it would be how you would treat any other stranger, how you introduce yourself, just being caring and genuine. And that's the way that you can build trust. And when you first meet a patient, just to be like that understanding, I'm here to help you, and just have that genuine feeling so they can be comfortable with you and relay and use the information that you need to know to further take care of them. And the next role we have is the resource role. And that is just when the patient may ask you a question, and just being that good resource to be able to give them the information and answer the questions that they are asking. Okay. And just making them feel comfortable enough for they can ask the question and you can be a good source for them. And then your teaching role, and that is how the nurse teaches a patient and providing them with instruction, and giving them, the information. When you're teaching, you have to a lot of times do stuff in layman's terms versus medical terms, because a lot of people do not understand medical terminology. So we have to make sure that we break it down for our patients, and we actually do teach them and explain to them, and use therapeutic communication. And then once we explain to the patient, then we must make sure that they understand, and just have them kind of, reflect or, reiterate what we've already spoken, just to make sure that they do understand. And then we have the counseling role, and this helps the nurse and the patient it helps the patient to understand circumstances, and it provides guidance for them, and it encourages them to change. A lot of times, patients, they want to do whatever they've been doing and it's been working when it's really not working. Like, when we look at their labs, it's really not working. So we try to be that counselor and really encourage them to make a change, probably some of their lifestyle habits that they always done. They feel like, I'm okay, but they really aren't okay. So, we just have to be that counselor to try to really encourage them in the right direction. We can't make the decisions for them, but we can definitely be that good counselor to give them good information and just try to lead them in a good, right, productive. And just, it's all about their health. And then we are the surrogate role, and that means we are an advocate. We are the people who, if no one else has our patients back, we have their back. We have their best interest at heart. If we see someone who is not conducive in their life, or that is not meaning them any good, or maybe it's a doctor, it's something that's may not really be good for the patient. The patient probably really doesn't want this, but the doctor's like, okay, we need to do this. You just have to be an advocate for the patient, and it may make people upset, but that's what we do. We are nurses, and we take care of our patients, and their needs comes first. Okay. And we are not to judge. And then you have the leadership role, in which the nurse helps the patient take responsibility for meeting the goals. So sometimes, to me, this is kind of like the hard part, to take the leadership role, because, some patients may not appreciate it, but in the end they will. So, you're more stern here, but at the same time you're still being respectful when you take the leadership role, because we want to get our clients healthy and back home, and sometimes that does require us to be a little bit more stern, but it's all in love. And so a lot of times you have to present that in love, and not you have to do this. Like, you have to be truly genuine, and like you care to get the patient to really respect what you're saying and to acknowledge you as a leader. And you have to be confident during this process. And then the expert role, and this is when the nurse actually is doing her assessment. She's actually doing probably range of motion exercises. She's operating equipment. So you're doing things like, okay, this patient's like, okay, wow, she really knows what she's doing. You're taking on the expert role. You're doing, wow, you put that IV in, great. So and a lot of times, whoa, she did great with that IV. Wow, you're like the best, versus sticking them 20,000 times, or just doing range of motion. Well, this nurse really knows what she's doing. So just playing the expert role really makes the patient have a lot of confidence in you. So, we do different roles. And so Pat Lau was just saying, hey, we have other roles that we deal with as far as patients. And so we just take on those different roles. So, and the main thing with these roles to me is just showing that you care. And patient information is definitely important, informing them and teaching them. And then the next subject we have is Sigmund Freud. And this is in reference to the 3 levels of awareness. Okay, we have the ego, the ID, and then we have the superego. So the first one that seems to pop up is the ID, okay, or the id. And this is pretty much the how to say, the devil on the shoulder. Okay, so this is the one where one's nature that reflects basic or innate desires such as pleasure-seeking behavior, aggression, and sexual impulses. So this is the one that's like, let's do it. I'm upset. I have this desire. I'm going to do it. You don't even think about it. You just do it. Okay, and then you have the superego, and the superego is more like the angel on the shoulder. And this is the one where it is the person's nature that reflects moral and ethical concepts, values, and parental and social expectation. So this is totally opposite of the id. Okay, so that's, like I say, is the angel on the shoulder. So you have the devil on the shoulder, you have the angel on the shoulder. The devil is the id, the angel on the shoulder is the superego. Okay, and then just when the ego comes in, that's the balance between the two. Okay, so it's kind of like, okay, we're not going to do this, but we're not going to do this, but it's going to be like a balance in the middle. And that's where the ego comes from. And it's like the meditating force between the two. And it allows a person to function successfully in the world. A lot of times it's not all about the extreme left, it's not about the extreme right, but it's just being in the middle. And sometimes being in the middle can cause a lot of anxiety. So with this particular category, anxiety does come into play. So it's just good to have a good balance. And that pretty much concludes this discussion. Thank you for listening.